Hey guys, how are you? It's good to see you. It's good to be seen by you. Welcome, one and all, to the show. I, of course, am the one and only Bill Sylvie, aka the Dungeon Delver. Come, give me that. There we go. Coming to you loud and clear on a Monday evening. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Guys, just because it's Monday doesn't mean we can't have fun. I'm glad you're all here. I'm glad everybody hanging out. There's some of you guys over on YouTube, some of you guys over on X, Christopher Sackle, Robert Phillips, Ptolemicus. If you're watching out there, whether you're watching over on X, whether you're watching over on YouTube, please say hello. I would love to hear from you, particularly if you're a new subscriber. And if you're not a new subscriber, maybe you've seen all the YouTube shorts that I'm doing. Maybe you're just kind of catching up with this via YouTube recommendations or what have you. Please consider clicking the subscribe button and the bell icon for notifications. That would be super duper helpful. It helps get the word out there. Guys, we're currently at 7,924 on the Subscribatron. Would love to hit 8,000 by the weekend. Would love to hit 10,000 by the first of the year. But you know what? That's up to you guys and what you want to see and what you guys want to enjoy. Elizabeth, it's wonderful to see you. We're all well here. Yeah, Gonzalo, we are at 7924, man. I think the last time you were counting cadence, buddy, it was like what? Like 7,200, 7,500, something like that. We have just blitzed up on the subscriber count, and that is you guys. That is you guys. That is what you do. That is what you do. And I love you all for it. I really do, because what we're going to do, what we're all going to do when this channel hits 10,000 subscribers, I'm going to I'm going to celebrate it. We're going to have the 10K sub celebration, and that is going to be the GWOC, the Great Underground Overland Gaming Convention. That's right. We're going to do a little bitty convention right here in sunny Central Florida in real life, guys. I'll find a venue. We'll find accommodations. Now, unlike the GWOC, the Great Underground Online Gaming Convention, the Overland Gaming Convention won't be free, but I think you'll realize, once I start talking to you guys about the space I want to get, how much it's going to cost, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, why that's going to be. But if you're in the mood for a con, if you're in the mood for something cool and fun and funky, coming up this April, guys, coming up this April 9th through the 12th, guys, we have the GWOC, the Great Underground Online Gaming Convention. It is boss. It is kick-ass. We are going to be playing TTRPGs in an online environment. It's open to all. Your badge cost is $0. If you want to be a game master, your cost is $0. Your travel cost is $0. Your accommodations are $0. Snacks is whatever you're going to want to eat in, like if you want to order a pizza, I can't cover that. You're going to have to arrange that with Domino's or Florio's or Giovanni's or whatever the local Italian place near you is called. Dine local. Okay, dine local. Don't eat pizza that's made like 2 states away and trucked in a freezer truck. Okay. Surely are there deserted malls we could squat in? Absolutely. I'm picturing like skate ramps in the parking lot, lots of graffiti, some SOD playing on a big silver boom box. You know what I'm talking about, right? But anyway, so regardless of what we do, it's going to be fun. Okay. But the GWOC, the Great Underground Online Gaming Convention, April 9th through April 12th, 2026. You don't want to miss it. You don't want to miss it. Sign up is easy. Game Master sign up is easy. Picking a game is easy, and it's 100% free. I hope you'll be there. I hope you participate. Now, is Delver going to break dance? No, man. No, not at like a girl skate thing. That's not, no. But anyway, Christopher Sackle says got a reprint of the original Greyhawk map from Polymorph Prints on Amazon, a tapestry. Oh, that is awesome, Christopher. That sounds fantastic. Fireforge, gobble gobble to you too, my friend. Speaking of things we're going to be doing in the future, I want to talk to you a little bit about this week. I am busy nonstop this week, but I'm not too busy for you guys. I'm not too busy for you guys. Let me tell you what's going on. Let me break this out to you guys. Tomorrow night we are playing first edition AD&D. That's just going to happen, okay? Fear not. We're playing first edition AD&D. Wednesday out, Thursday obviously, Friday we're going to play Gamma World. And I'll tell you a little bit about the, yes, exactly, Gonzalo. I'll tell you a little bit about the events going on this week. This Tuesday, that is tomorrow, that is the last first edition AD&D live stream game of the year. We will start anew in the first week of January. I am taking December off of a lot of live streaming. I'm not going to say all. I'm taking it off of a lot, most of the live streaming. Then on Friday, we're going to do another live stream game on Friday. You guys, you can throw a scoop of ice cream and some pumpkin pie and some apple pie and a little bit of heavy cream into the blender, make yourself a smoothie, and put your feet up, and you can watch our Gamma World stream, which is probably going to be not only the last Gamma World live stream of 2025, but our last Gamma World live stream for a long time, because when we come back in January to Sci-Fi Friday, we're going to be doing something different. We're going to be trying out something different. We're going to give something else a bit of a run on Sci-Fi Friday, and I hope you guys will be as enthused about it and want to check it out. What it'll be, I haven't settled on yet. I haven't decided. If you're going to be out all week and you're like, man, I'm going to miss everything. Let's see, November, December, January. We will be back on January 5th. So our first AD&D live stream is going to be on the 6th. Our first Sci-Fi Friday is going to be on the 9th of 2026. The 5th, and I'm sorry, the 6th and the 9th. The funny number, in enero, as they say in Spanish. So, George Leacona, good to see you. So I'm hoping that you guys will want to stick around and have fun with this. No reason not to, guys. So let's see. That is the week, and that is a lot of the month ahead. Now, I said I'm laying off most of the live streaming, a large portion, the majority of the live stream. We actually are having 3 live streams in December, and other content in December. So, the 11th of December, which is a Thursday, the 11th of December, we will have Ignatius Umlaut of Fight On Magazine. Ignatius is going to be here. We're going to talk about Fight On Magazine. This is something that just kind of came up. It just worked out that it was that critical, that key, that important to make it happen. And so I'm excited about that. So hopefully you guys want to tune in for that. Just take kind of a chill day from shopping, and it's like, oh, we got to be at Aunt Becky's house, and what am I going to get my nephew and our kids and whatever. You can have a couple hours. We're going to talk to him about one of the most enduring fanzines of the OSR scene, called Fight On. And that's going to be a lot of fun. I met him up at EggCon, but like so many things that went on with EggCon, stuff kind of gets reorganized and put in other files. So it was actually, it's funny, Bob Gnarly, you guys see Bob Gnarly out in the chat sometime. Bob Gnarly was like, I'm going to tell this guy to contact you about coming on your show. And I was like, okay. So, we have that kind of community here. Like if you're new here and you're like, so wait, somebody just said that this is going to happen. Well, sort of. So, Bob Gnarly, we sort of connected, through Bob. And so Ignatius is going to be on here, and I'm looking forward to that. So that's going to be a lot of fun. And then a few days after that, and I haven't nailed down specifically exactly when we're going to do this, but not the precise day. Rob Kuntz will be here. We will be live streaming with Rob Kuntz. Also very excited about that. If you don't know who Rob is, grab any D&D book made under TSR's reign, just about, and Rob's name is in it. Rob is one of the first people to adventure in Castle Greyhawk. Rob is one of the first people to adventure in the Dungeon board game map. Rob is one of the first people to ever play a tabletop role-playing game, ever. And I'm excited about that. So Rob's going to be here. This will be his second time on the show. We got to make sure that Zoom's going to work, because for some reason StreamYard and his machine just like they don't work. I don't know if it's a local thing with his internet out there in Corsica. I don't know exactly when that is. And that brings up the other thing, because we are going to do that probably in my early day. That's going to be like an early day thing. So we'll do it on a Saturday or a Sunday, so that we can that we can not have to make Rob stay up until like literally start at 2:30 in the morning and go until 5 in the morning. Because again, Corsica, France, he's pretty far in let me see, that's west, in that direction from where I am. Yes, he is Shellback Bow. What night is Rob on? We're coming to that very soon, Gonzalo. And again, it's going to be a day. It's going to be a day for us. It might be a morning, it might be a morning thing. So Rob is not burdened with staying up stupid hours. I mean, if I was 77 years old, I wouldn't be like, yeah, let me just sit up until 3:30 in the morning and then start a live stream and then go until 6 or 7 or 8. So I will Shellback Bow is out there. Shellback Bow is in the Midwest. He's in Ohio. It's a little linguistic joke there. He's in Japan, and they say good morning in the word Ohio, and it's a homonym for the American Midwestern. I'm just going to stop now. So Rob, morning, weekend morning, probably mid-December. I'll have to see what's available. Available with him and what works good for him, not what's available for me. I'm keeping December open. Now, there's a third live stream in December, and that is Christmas night. You guys don't want to miss the Christmas night live stream. It's not just me and Mrs. the Dungeon Delver bragging about swag. No, it is not. The Christmas night live stream is going to be when we spin the wheel, and 4 people are selected to win an original Dungeons and Dragons replica set. That's right. One of, well, 4 of how many ever subscribers and or not subscribers, I'm sorry, patrons and members on YouTube who were subscribed no later than October 31st will get your will get your chance to win this. We will spin the wheel for an OD&D set. I am excited about it. I'm excited to see who wins. So I and I wish everybody could win. I wish I could give one to every single channel member and every single patron. Don't have that many. Don't have that many. But I hope you guys will be there. Now, on through December, you may think, well, if you're going away, so what? We're still going to do YouTube shorts, guys. We're still going to do the YouTube shorts, 3 a day. I have them scripted out through the end of December. I have sandbagged every single YouTube short for every day in December. So they're going to be racked and stacked. You want to Delver YouTube short on the Feast of St. Lucy? You want to Delver YouTube short on Christmas morning? You want to Delver's YouTube short on New Year's Eve? Guys, you've got it all. You've got it all. Okay. And it's all those cool trivia facts that you guys have been eating up and enjoying the hell out of. I've got a real banger coming tomorrow. You guys absolutely loved the ones I put up this weekend. If the numbers are anything to go by, I mean, gosh, looking at the YouTube shorts, it seems that 10,714 of you guys engaged with this AD&D typo change to the cleric class. Can I roll up Santa into a character sheet? Yes, I can. Yes, I can. Will they be signed by the great William D. Delver? The Dungeon Delver will be signing all of the boxes. Well, let me say, I will be indicating in the boxes that they are replicas. If someone wants an autograph inside the box, on the front of the box, on the books, wherever, I will do that, but only if they ask. But I will be indicating that. Can we roll up Santa into a character sheet? It's funny you should ask that, Robert Phillips. It's funny you should ask that because, yes, I can. Would you guys like me to do it right now? Because, folks, let me tell you what we have. How many guys, how many times have you sat down and said, I need a character with a quickness for AD&D? And yeah, you can kind of hand wave it like, he's a thief, give him dex 16, he's 5th level, so I guess like 12 hit points, and standard gear, make sure you've got thieves tools and just go with that. Just don't make his stats too crazy. That's fudging. That's like nails on your chalkboard. Wouldn't it be great if you had an application on your PC that runs Windows 8, 8.1, 10, or 11, 32, or 64-bit, or runs under Linux through Wine or Mac OS through Wine? It was a simple, elegant, but powerful command line interface to generate a character, save it in HTML or in simple text, and then not just create the character, but equip them, level them, change their stats, change their alignment, give them XP, drain levels from them, age them, dual class them if appropriate, let them become bards, apply for psionics if your DM uses. Wouldn't it be great if you had a tool that could do that? Well, I'm glad that you asked, guys. I'm glad that you asked me about that because, folks, we have it. We have it right here. It is called CROM, the Character Record Organization Manager. It is the premier first edition AD&D character creation tool. It is the last word in first edition, guys. It is the tool that you need for character creation. And we're going to check it out right now. Let's see. You know what? I think I've just got it right here. I don't think I have to do that. Just do that. And I'll pop this up on screen and you guys can check this out. I just got to make sure I've got the latest the latest and greatest build on here. My users all have the latest and greatest build. I don't know if I have the latest and greatest rolled downloaded here. So let's share screen, window, share. And here we go, folks. CROM, Character Record Organization Manager for classic tabletop role-playing games. Create a feature-rich character sheet. Simple interface. Create a new character. Load a saved character or quit. Let's create a new character because somebody wanted to see Santa Claus. And in the name of the holiday spirit, who am I to deny? Robert Phillips gets his Christmas wish a little early. So let's go over here. Let's do create. Now, normally I would say method 3 gives you the best spread, but this is Santa Claus we're talking about. So we're going to go manual entry. Strength. Well, I don't think Santa's a bruiser. He certainly has a big bag of infinite holding to carry around. So let's say strength 15. Intelligence. He sees you when you're sleeping. That's an 18 int. He knows when you're awake. That's an 18 whiz. That right jolly old elf with a wink of his eye and his thumb upside his nose can zip up and down chimneys like nobody's business. Joe Kaufman, Santa Claus is coming to CROM. That's right. So that's a dexterity right there. We're going 18 on that dex. Constitution, nothing slows Santa down. Charisma. Now, honestly, is there any boy or girl anywhere in the world who doesn't love Santa? The answer is no. So there we go. Now, what race? Some people say Santa is an elf. But is D&D elf really appropriate for this? Some people say that Santa was merely raised by elves. That, of course, would be Santa Claus is Coming to Town, the Rankin Bass special. He's not a half orc or a halfling or a half elf. So some people, or a dwarf, I wouldn't think. Some people could say gnome, because those elves in Santa Claus is Coming to Town look pretty gnomish. But you know what? I think we're going to go with a human. I think we're going to stick to the Santa Claus, the adopted foundling. So let's do that. We have selected human. Are we sure? We're going to say yes. And he is a male. Maybe Christmas Eve we can do Mrs. Claus character sheet. Now, what about his class, guys? Cleric? Druid, perhaps? No. Fighter? Santa Claus doesn't have to fight. Paladin? Ranger? See, fighter. Magic user? Now, there's a thought. Santa's not known for wearing armor or anything like that. Illusionist? Oh, but no, what Santa creates is real. Santa doesn't deceive. And he's certainly not a thief. And absolutely not an assassin. Robert Phillips says cleric magic user. I like your thinking, Robert. I like your thinking a lot, actually. I think we can dual class. I think we can dual class this guy. So let's go with cleric. And I'll enter level for cleric. Santa's been around for a while. So we're going to 30. Now, we have to choose weapons, but we can be done selecting these. Oh, yeah. We're not worrying about weapons proficiencies, not for Santa. Let's shop for some clothing, though. Oh, we've got a cap. We've got a hat. Well, we've already got a cap. We've got a robe, belt, boots, hard boots, I think. He's got that big belt. I think a normal girdle, perhaps. Well, we've already got a belt. I think that's covered. So we're done. Now, livestock and transport and so on, I mean, those are really more magic items. Let's see, though. Miscellaneous equipment and items. Well, he's got a large sack. That's magical, but we'll go ahead and give him one just for the vibe. Oh, what else? What else for Santa? A leather scroll case to keep that list in. I do, Robert. I do. Very special duty for Santa that night. So let's be done. And we'll be done here. Are you sure? Absolutely. Check for psionics? I'm going to say, yeah, let's go ahead and check for psionics. No psionics. Now, what alignment for Santa? Some might say lawful good. Now, he makes a list, he checks it twice, but kids get presents anyway, right? He sees you when you're sleeping. He knows when you're awake, but you're still going to get something in your stocking, not coal. Is he chaotic good? Is he out there just doing random acts? You could make that argument. But there's rules that Santa does abide by when necessary. And then there's times when he breaks rules. Let's go back to Santa Claus is coming to town. He just tapped to the Burgermeister Meisterburger. I think Santa Claus is the goodest good, neutral good, good above all others. So he is neutral good. Santa. We're going to save that as a text file. Do you want to create another character? Yes, we do. Load. Santa. There he is. 212 hit points. I think that's good. 212 hit points as a cleric. Lots of spells. Lots of spells. I think we can dual class him. Somebody said cleric magic user. We're going to do that. Begin dual classing this character. Yes. Magic user. He is now a magic user. Now let's level him up. Yep. Level. Yes. Level. Yes. Look at him go. Santa Claus. Level 30 cleric, level 30 magic user, 347 hit points. Magic user spells 7 first, 7 second, 7 third, 7 fourth, 6 seventh, 6 eighth. Wait. First, second, third, fourth, fifth, 6th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 6th, 8th, and so on. Am I doing that right? No. 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th. You know what I'm saying. There you go. Let's save that. Save it as, you know what? Let's save this as HTML. And we'll save it as text also. Now we're going to quit out. We're going to come back to this. And now we're going to open up that character sheet. Actually, this is a really old version that I've been using here, but that's okay. I was using R. I should have been using S2. Yes, it's not displaying as cleric spells properly. But I'll show you guys a character sheet anyway. Share screen, share screen. And there you go. 4,950,001 XP for cleric, 7,500,001 XP for magic user. I suppose I should have aged him a little bit. There you go, guys. I think that's an appropriate secondary skill. Jeweler and lapidary. Yes. And so there you go. There you go, Robert Phillips. Santa Claus statted up. Let me know if you want to copy a Santa Claus. If you would like that Santa Claus character sheet to load into Chrome to play around with. How old is Saint Nick considered to be? Now, here on Earth Prime, you know what? Let's look that up because I'm not sure. Let's see. Between the late 3rd and 4th centuries AD, So around the year 270 is the estimate. So about 1760 years. So he's about 1760 years old. Let me see. Let me do my math here. $1755 to be exact. 1755 years. So he's venerable. That's fine. But he's immortal. So there you go. And now you guys know. Where on the sheet does it say if he's psionics capable? I checked for his psionics. If he had psionics, it would have listed the disciplines. I mean, if you want to just assign him psionics, you know, if you just want to grab the sheet and assign him psionics, look at his stats, because it's wisdom, intelligence, charisma, or intelligence, wisdom, and charisma are the stats that determine whether or not you may or may not have psionics. And if you just want to go ahead and say, I'm just going to hand wave and say he does have psionics, then that's how you would have to go with that. So let me see what happened there, because that should be Crom S something. Look at downloads. Have I just not downloaded the right version? That's going to bug me. That's going to bug me, and I'm going to have to go get that. Let's go over to my drive and find latest. I don't know. I mean, that may be it. You know, I can just go over here and I can do this. By the way, if you guys have any AD&D questions, please ask them right now, and I will be more than happy to yeah, that is S2 is what that's supposed to be. It's not, shouldn't be over on R. Yeah, I didn't even have a good new version of Crom on this machine. But if you guys have any D&D questions, now do the Krampus. You know, yeah, we can do that. We can do Krampus. I'm not a big fan of Krampus. I get a lot of people, like, when I talk about playing the Christmas D&D games on Monday, they're like, oh, you got to do something with Krampus, man. You got to have him out there being mean and the party's helping him be mean, and etc. I don't do ironic Christmases kind of stuff. I don't like doing that. Let's put this in. We're just going to call this. I like keeping Christmas nice and light and sweet. But I get it. I get the Krampus thing. Unregistered hypercam. Stig, Crom is $25 if you want to shoot me an email. The email is coming right across there. bsylvie@gmail.com. Then I will be more than glad to hook you up. A purchase of Crom entitles you to all future releases, bug fixes, patches, updates, what have you. You bought your home group each a copy of 3 Hearts and 3 Lions for Christmas. They just showed up in the mail. You have to control yourself and wait till Christmas. That's awesome. That is a beautiful, beautiful Christmas gift. And I'm going to tell you something a little Christmas related about that in just a second. Let's see. We're going to copy Santa over into Chrome S2, AD&D. Where did it go? That is fantastic, man. All right, so let's see here. Chrome S2. Info. Run it anyway. It's not harmful. Sorry, my Windows install on this thing is fairly locked down. But let's make this so you guys can see it a little bit better. Let's do a nice 36-point font. Oh, that's a little big. Maybe 28. 24, perhaps. That's better. All right, so let's present. Share screen, window, share screen, and put that on screen. And there we go. Squeaky clean, latest version of Chrome 1.5 S2. Let's see if Santa will load up here. Yeah. Yep, everything's hunky-dory. Now we're going to create. And we're going to use. Now, somebody's going to have to spell me on the Krampus lore here. Strength. I think Krampus has to be pretty strong. He grabs those kids. So we're going to give him 18. Intelligence, pretty smart. 17. Wisdom. I don't know. I think he cast his net a bit too wide. So maybe 14 for wisdom. Dexterity, he's chasing the kids down. I'm in an 18. I don't want him to be able to beat Santa. Constitution, 18 though. Charisma, not good. Not good. We're just going to go 3 with charisma. Now his race, I don't know. All the portrayals of Krampus I've seen. I mean, I feel like I kind of got to go with human if he's got spell casting ability, even though I kind of lean into half orc a little bit. So let's do human, but a charisma of 3. An ogre magi. And I mean, if I had monsters as character classes, that would work. But we're just going to use human as the default. Yes. Male. Don't say assassin. I'm not making him an assassin. I'm going to say illusionist. So let's do illusionist and a 30, level 30 illusionist. And sticks. He likes wailing on kids, right? Melee. I can see him using a dagger. Ranged. Darts. And we're out of proficiencies, so we've taken all the proficiencies we can. Melee, ranged, and sticks. So, yes, we're sure. Choose a defensive spell. Darkness. Let's see. Miscellaneous spell. Let's see. Detect invisibility. Kids can't hide from him. All right. Clothing. Belt. Low soft boots. Cloth cloak. and a robe. Done. All right. Miscellaneous items or equipment. Let's see. Iron spikes. Let's give him some of those. Let's see. We're going to go with a 10-foot pole that he's going to tie his sack to. So we're going to go with a large sack to put those poor kids in. Tallow candles. Just, I think that's a good vibe. So let's pick up some of those. Flint and steel. I think we're done. Weapons. Let's go with sticks. Quarterstaff. Back. Done shopping. Are you sure? Yes. Check for psionics. Absolutely. No psionics. He is lawful evil. He is lawful evil. And Krampus. And we're going to save this to a text file. Krampus. Yes. Let me see if I can dual class him into thief. Let's see. Begin dual class. Yes. Yes, we can. For thief. Level. Yes. All right, there we go. Krampus, the lawful evil thief illusionist. Stat it up for you guys. Again, let me know if you guys would like the character sheets for Krampus and for Santa. And I will put these up somewhere for you. I will put those up there for you. So if you're interested in purchasing a copy of Crom, whether you want to create Santa, Krampus, the Easter Bunny, Gary Gygax, John Wayne, Sir Gawain, Frodo, Bilbo, or just Bob the Fighter, you see how easy it is. You see how intuitive it is. It does everything for you. Let me know. Reach out to me on social media and let's make a deal. $25, 25 doll hairs for Crom. But anyway. Oh, and by the way, I just want to point something out because I didn't mention this before. I did not mention this before. Actually, yes, I did. I was about to say, I didn't tell you what Crom would run on. Yes, it does. Can we fight it? Yes, we can. Absolutely. So, what, if any, D&D questions do you find people have for me tonight? Ask, and I will tell you. I will be more than happy to let you know. We've already talked about what we're doing this week. We've talked a lot about what's going on as far as December into next year. Can druids not dual class? No. If druids step out of the arena of being a druid, they are no longer a druid. Now, a character can learn some druid spells from druids, which is why if a bard wants to advance, they have to find a druid. If a ranger wants to advance to the point where he can spell class at ultra high ends, he needs to find a druid. But druids themselves cannot dual class. It is not a thing that is permitted. Most character classes within reason can dual class. Gary even brings up the idea of a cleric paladin in AD&D, which, I mean, talk about OP, right? I mean, you get all the powers of paladinhood, then you start up with cleric, right? I mean, you could do assassin thief. That would be a potent class. A little redundant, but I think better than you might think, because then when you cross over as the assassin or as the thief, you have all of the thiefly stuff and access to all of the weapons and armor that assassins do. Multi-class paladin monk. That would be tough. I'm not going to say it's not doable. I would just, because there's some interesting stuff going on if you're multi-classing a monk and a paladin. You can definitely do it from the lawful good standpoint, and you can definitely do it from the stat standpoint. The problem comes when you start thinking about the weapons that a monk is specifically permitted to use. But then, if we go back to, say, a magic user illusion or a magic user fighter dual classed, they can then pick up a sword and even wear armor. Well, they can't multi-class. I was talking about dual classing. It never came up in discussion, but Bob, if you remember that, we can ask Rob Kuntz. Maybe Rob knows. Maybe Rob's got some insight into that. What is the oldest human settlement in Greyhawk? Still existing, probably something along the path of the Great Migration after the reign of colorless fire. The twin calamities, the invoked devastation and the reign of colorless fire, aka the magical nuclear war that happened in Greyhawk. By the way, Greyhawk is a post-apocalypse setting. You're welcome. Do I allow spearmen to charge effectively at second rank with their weapon? I don't allow them to charge if they're in the second rank. The front rank, like when you charge, you're just running all out. You're not moving in an orderly shield wall in front, spears behind. If you're talking about can spearmen charge the second rank of an enemy row, I don't see why not. Although, if the second rank of an opponent's phalanx is armed with shields, or spears, they're going to take the spear set against charge, and they're going to take weapon blows from the first rank, from the shield wall rank. What class or classes would Robin Hood be? Robin Hood is a fighter. He is a lord. If we're talking about the real Robin of Locksley, he is a fighter. He is a lord. He is a ninth level fighter. Don't bring that, oh, he's a ranger because he uses a bow. No, he's the thief of Nottingham, therefore he's a thief. No. Robin's rebellion was specifically predicated on the ill treatment that he and other noblemen were receiving from Prince John. You have to remember that. That's historical. No, Joe, the coordination doesn't work. You're going to end up falling over each other. I mean, you're going to slam your first rank, like you literally, when they stop, you're gonna stumble into them, and you're not going to be able to attack. But yeah, Robin of Locksley is a fighter. He's proficient in bow. The Robin Hood movies, with Errol Flynn, yeah, we see a lot of fun arrow shots, but he also sword fights in those movies. So that's my 2 cents on it. He's not a thief. He doesn't pick locks. He doesn't detect traps. He doesn't disarm traps. He doesn't hide in shadows. He doesn't move silently. I mean, you could make the argument that he does those things in the woods when he ambushes people, but that's simple surprise. That's simple surprise. What resources do I know regarding the lost city of the Sula? Only what I made up in Temple of the Sun. But your go-to on that would almost be Rob. Let me check something here real quick, boys and goyles. Switch over to Stygia. Now, come on. Meant to go to the Stygia. Now we're at 79.25. Thank you for throwing in some scribble out there, guys. I do appreciate it. Come on. There we go. So, I mean, yeah, that now some people like to take before the Lost City, not before the Lost City, the module, the Lost City module code, letter B, number 4, and call that the Lost City of the Sulwa. Its weirdness actually works. The Sulwa were becoming pretty degenerate by the time of the Twin Calamities. It is not beyond the pale to make that the Lost City of the Sulwa. This is the last vestigial remnant of the Sulwa. So you can do that. You can go with WGH to Temple of the Sun. I know some people have taken the Desert of Desolation series But if you want the actual historical data, again, Gary's not with us anymore. Rob's probably the closest we have to it. Or maybe Paul Stormberg. Hey, Paul Stormberg. Now, one thing I can tell you is that there is a great underground migration that also goes on by the Sewell. And if you read up regarding Moore Castle, Mordenkainen's Fantastic Adventure, a lot of that involves the Sewell migration. You might find some information in there. Return says the lost city is located in the Sulahot Mountains in a tavern known as the Third, was a human of that lost tribe. I hew to first edition, so I can't really say either way to that. I think is that Bruce Cordell or is that Monty Cook? Somebody's going to have to tell me. But I don't. The Return to rewrites, I think there's some where they were legitimately trying to be respectful to Gary's and other people's works, and then others were just so bad that I didn't really feel like I don't regard that. And I mean, case in point is with all respect, Return to White Plume Mountain. There's like just it's just in pieces. John D. Rateliff, thank you, Bob Jester. I think it's possible to sequelize things, but like Against the Giants, the Liberation of Jeff, aka Return to Against the Giants. Honestly, I've read the guy's editorials and I've read his writing about it, and Sean K. Reynolds' treatment of that module was just a big old middle finger to Gary. I mean, that's not me. That's not sour grapes on my part. That's Reynolds' own writing. I think Gary's a dick. I'm going to take out the light disintegrating elven items. I argued with Gary about this, but I did it anyway. I mean, dude, this is brought to you by the letter F and U. So I don't have a whole lot of respect for changes like that. I mean, think about modern day sequels to classic films, right? I mean, would you watch Return to Casablanca? Return to Gone with the Wind, Return to The Longest Day. Fun umpire, exactly, Shellbackbow. Fun umpires. That's what we're talking about. Fun umpires. So not a huge fan. Question came up last week. Weapon speed of multiple attacks, including fast weapons versus slow weapons. Okay. So if we're talking about weapon speed, and in the case of initiative ties, spell casting, things like that, we are. Hamlet too. So let's talk about an initiative tie. A 1 and a 1 on both sides. I have a long sword. You have a dagger. We each get 2 attacks a round. Now, from my standpoint, I've got a dagger, you've got a long sword. I can hit you in 2 rounds because that's a 1-segment attack. A long sword is a 4-segment attack. I can hit you with a dagger both times before your sword can hit me once. You feel what you picking up what I'm putting down? That's my take on it. I hope that answers the question. Compare. Also, look at what the initiative difference is on segment. Okay. If you roll a 1 for initiative and I roll a 6 for initiative, my attacks are going off on the first round. But maybe I have a weapon like a really heavy pole arm that I can't bring to bear on you in that 6 segments. You might get up and gig me with a dagger a couple of times before I can hit you. Even with a, like if you get multiple attacks, you might come in, say you're a powerful enough fighter and you're like, poignard, stab, stab, stab. You might get me 3 times before I can bring my Lochaber axe, my Volge glaive, my bill hook, my ox tongue down on you. Depends on where we're at, St. Cuthbert. It depends on where we're at. I say if you've already moved into melee, weapons length actually goes to the shorter weapon. Because I've already, I've won initiative on you by a long time. You probably haven't had a chance to start backing away from me to swing that and strike. Now, both sides being equal, yes, it does go to the longer weapon. Does the multi-attack allow for a weapon strike on an MU before MU can cast sleep on tied initiative standing toe-to-toe? Yes, and natural attacks are always faster than weapon attacks. Claw, bite, headbutt, stomp, rake, anything like that. Anything that's built onto the attacker's body always goes first in a round. Does a multi-attack allow for a weapon strike before an MU can cast sleep on tied initiative standing toe-to-toe? It depends on the weapon speed. Longsword, no. Your sleep spell, 1 segment. Doesn't matter if I have 2 attacks or even 3 attacks. Wham, boom, you're done. And Joe, I don't, first of all, you're right. And I disagree with you. We're both right. It gets a little sticky. The real fine detail with this is in the supplement some fans created called Addict, which is like AD&D Initiative Combat Table or something that's like 50 pages long. It takes something that's very simple and intuitive and explains every single possible edge case, but it 99.99999% of the time, it's going to come down to weapon speed. And if we're talking about a dagger versus a sleep spell, a speed 1 weapon versus a speed 1 spell, I would almost, with a tied initiative, I would almost be tempted to literally just bring it down to a die roll and just roll a d6. 1, 2, 3, you get the spell off before you get stabbed. 4, 5, 6, you don't. Have you got a luck stone? Is bless going? Something like that? It'll add a little joss to that die. So that's just my take on it. But it gets into it does get into some edge cases, and I think people have sought those edge cases out, not necessarily trying to create contention. But it's like, well, wait, what if I have a party of half elven rangers all wearing leather armor moving through the woods, and they run into a group of halfling thieves all wearing leather armor? What about surprise then? And it's like, don't overthink it. Just don't overthink it. Not every case fits perfectly. Just don't let yourself get caught up in overthinking it. Yeah, Instant Charlie, it's a perfect way. That's a perfect example of explaining that. You get a gold star, brother. Brother, I assume brother. We don't like necessarily to what system does work every time? I don't know, Gonzalo. I honestly don't know. I mean, hero system, maybe. Was it hero system you were thinking of? I'm not sure, man. I'm not sure. I better be polite or I'm going to get a charge back. But no, I get it. But again, this is edge case stuff. Hero system is thorough. Hero system is very thorough. There's absolutely no question about the thoroughness of hero system. Kayla, yes, early stream on Monday nights. I like to do the Monday night stream a little bit early because I have an AD&D game and I don't like to run into it. Like if I start at 9, I am limited to 1 hour. If I start at 8 and I babble a little extra long, it'll take it. So I like to do this because I'm usually like donezo by 8:30 at the latest. And then I've got some time to unwind and rest my voice before I go play AD&D for 3 hours. Did I decide what game will replace Gamma World? I don't know yet. I want something with spicy powered armor, but not that's like well, you say, well, Gamma World's got powered armor. Yeah, in a few hours, Doom's and Kevin's suits are going to be dead. So a seller who was yeah, we're still doing the G series, Michael. A seller on eBay who's selling reprints of copywritten things. Okay. Here's my thought on that. I think it's a little skeevy, but pod copies cost money. And if you're selling the pod, and every time you sell a pod, if you want a new one to sell, you go buy another copy and then print it and then sell it, and you don't use that again. You delete it, you get rid of it, and then you buy another copy and another copy and another copy and another copy. I think that's fine. It may be legally gray, but I think that's fine. If you buy one copy of the Dungeon Master's Guide and you send that file to a local print shop and you have 100 printed up and you're just selling them, no, that's not legal. That's the equivalent of buying a CD and just burning copies of the CD, the one CD that you bought, and selling those. I should run Champions First Edition, Champions 1, 2, and 3. Here's the thing. If I'm running Champions, it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 because they're all identical. Mechanon from Champions 2 is just as dangerous in Champions 5. Now, 6, they got rid of figured characteristics and they changed some other things. So I don't know how broken 6 is. I do know that Ron Edwards wound up being the guy who was working on 6, and I don't really want anything to do with that. Yeah, it's just less rules. I think what they did with 4 and 5 was they were saying like, oh, and here's a power framework, and or not a power frame. Here's a potential multi-power. Here's another potential multi-power. Here, you could think of those things yourself with Champions 1, 2, or 3. It's just they did the thinking for you. Like, if you're, I never thought to, and Ray Vision with ×3 armor piercing. I never thought of that, but it's in Champions 4 or 5. So yeah, Hero System is pretty much complete, even if you have the 1980, the first edition one, which is a glorious, glorious looking book. Just absolutely, that just makes the nostalgia swell in me. One thing that I was really disappointed in was them abandoning the Foxbat meme. I'm not kicking you out of Tuesday night, Gonzalo. Now, one thing I will say that I like a lot better about 5th edition more than any other edition, they tried, when 4th edition rolled around, they tried to have genre-specific books, including like Robot Warrior. They wanted a BattleTech game for Hero System. And a buddy of mine who ran a lot of Hero System almost exclusively, like he did not like other RPGs except maybe Call of Cthulhu. But he really pushed hard for me to look at Robot Warrior. And I was like, you know what? I'll give it a look. I'll give it a look. And I'm trying to think of the artist. He did a lot of stuff for D&D. Why am I blanking on this guy's name? I have said before, he does great science fiction art, but I don't care for his fantasy art. It's going to bother me. Where is it? Watch, I'm going to get this down and it's going to pop in my head. Jim Holloway. Jim Holloway did art in a lot of RPG companies' stuff, but he also did artwork for FASA for BattleTech. So a lot of those Studio New looking designs are actually Jim Holloway doing an amazing job in early BattleTech stuff of copying the Studio New look. Thank you, Bob. But so yeah, Holloway did a lot of the art in Robot Warrior. When I got Robot Warrior, I was so disappointed. Part of what makes genre-specific games great is their embracing of the gimmick. A Call of Cthulhu book based around hero system should not out of the gate start talking about multi-powers and disads. All that stuff should be buried. It should be woven together as a fun narrative. I wanted to read Robot Warrior and read about PPCs and autocannons and missile tubes and gyro stabilizers and composite armors and cockpits and all that stuff. The book literally just says, so if you want giant mecha, here's how you do them in Hero System. This is an RKA. This is a multi-power. This is a power limitation, yada, yada, yada. Not a word about reactors or shielding or transformation or searchlights helping you fight underwater battles or anything like that. Just it literally just said the same shit we said in superhero games, but it is a giant robot. And it left me so flat. It was so utterly flavorless. I hated it. And I politely gave the book back to my buddy Jeff, and he was like, did you read it? And I was like, sure I did, as long as there's no further questions. I was always a multi-power guy, Gonzalo. I always felt like the multi-power with multi-slots. That's just like, because it's a my little primate brain. That's the simplest. Fifth edition Hero System jettisoned that, and they immediately they front load. This is science fiction. These are mecha. This is sword and sorcery. This is wizardry. They do what they should have done once upon a time with fourth edition books. Fourth edition Robot Warrior, it was like, man, there's a lot of cool giant robot stuff. Okay, let's get into how we define that in Hero System. The 5e science fiction book, it feels like reading a science fiction rule set, and that's something that they failed on. And I love it for that. For that, 5e is head and shoulders the best. And I will hang on to my 5e Hero System stuff for as long as I can, even if I never play it. Yeah, 3 different Fantasy World content books. And I don't understand why that wasn't a billion seller either. Like, I don't understand why that wasn't like the one role-playing game to rule them all. I'm sorry, Kayla, I didn't mean to bowl past you. Something you miss out on being a younger gamer, the nostalgia. 5e was your first system, so you get nostalgic for early 5th edition. I've said it before. 5e, hey, Robovsky, 5e D&D was a fine fantasy role-playing game. Starter set, player's handbook, dungeon master's guide, monster manual. 4 things you needed. The starter set should have had character creation rules in it instead of sending you off to the internet to download. But otherwise, that's all you need. And then feature creep started. And that Tasha's Cauldron of Everything, or whatever it was, and just missed me with that. The bloat just. So that, yeah, I just, nostalgia is going to be wherever you start, and nostalgia is not necessarily a bad thing. And you don't have to be ashamed of saying, I like something because of nostalgia, or, I think nostalgia is good. People think that nostalgia means, putting on like a $500 leather biker's jacket and going to the local theme bar and posing for a picture on the non-functional Harley they have up by the cash register, right? Little gutted mini jukeboxes at the tables that just pipe out whatever music is coming from the MP3 player plugged in the manager's office. That's not what nostalgia has to be. Nostalgia can be healthy and a good thing. With that said, that's not why I play classic D&D. I don't play classic D&D for a nostalgia kick. I play it because it's still a vital good RPG. It doesn't go stale. It's not like the caps have swollen and the operating system no longer updates, and it's got this funky power supply you can't replace anymore, and the plastics on the case are crumbling, so I can't really do that. This is fresh and vital. Go to Drive-Thru RPG and get a brand new, just printed Dungeon Master's Guide, Player's Handbook, and Monster Manual, and all the classic modules, and start playing them. There's nothing about it that's out of date. Or do it for second edition, or for third edition, or for fourth edition, or now for fifth edition. Whatever presses that button right up there between your amygdala and makes the happy, do that. Don't let people tell you that because your RPG is out of date, it sucks. If this, oh God, that would have been so cool if I could have done that. I don't see my copy of Dragons of Underearth. It's probably buried behind stuff. Imagine I'm holding up a copy of Metagaming's Dragons of Underearth from 1980. If this is what makes you happy, play it and enjoy it. Yeah, Hypercam, that's a shame. Here's what I would recommend, Hypercam. Let me give you some info. Find that big, beautiful, complete scan of the Greyhawk map. Get the Greyhawk folio. But then spend a little bit more. Go to a local print shop. Like if you've got one of those FedEx print places, and get that big, beautiful, contiguous scan printed. And there you go. I don't think the B2 scan is that bad. I have the PDF of B2. I don't think it's bad. With that said, B2 is also common as dirt. You can probably pick it up for about $20 on eBay, like an original copy. Yes, they are, Kayla. They are solid. Bum, 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 bum. If you know, you know. One thing, though, that I will say is I wish, like, the covers for second and third edition are, I think, now, second and third edition fans, you're going to have to correct me, and then fourth edition and fifth edition are not the ballardized covers that we got with AD&D. The AD&D typeset reprints from 2014, they used those covers for all of them. Maybe. How much, you know what? Let me check this here. I'll make you a deal. Hypercam, I'll make you a deal. Buy the right now, get the bundle, get the PDF and the soft cover. Do it right now. Tell me you've done it. If it gets there and it sucks and you don't like it, let me know and I'll cover you. 'Tis the season. Merry Christmas to you. You could lie to me. Think about that. You could lie to me. You could come in and you could say, this is great, but I'm going to get it for free. Yeah, Bill, this is crap. That's on you if you want to do that. I did mention that, Joe, and I'm gonna come around on that. Yeah, but that's the new Greyhawk map. They've changed some stuff, Robert. So just let me know if you're going to do that hypercam. Drop me an email, bsylvia@gmail.com. Maybe send me a screenshot of your receipt once you bought it. And if it sucks, if it's terrible, I'll cover you. So here is the the connection to Christmas is only in my campaign. I'm sorry to disappoint you, Joe. But here's what. Yeah, it's $15.99. I'm not sure what the shipping on it is. You'll just have to tell me. I mean, the 5 stars are probably for content. But so this goes down into my campaign a little bit, but I'm gonna tell you guys about this. In 3 Hearts and 3 Lions, there is a point at which, well, it's not really 3 Hearts and 3 Lions. Okay. Poul Anderson wrote 2 books. One was called A Midsummer's Tempest, and the other one was called Operation Chaos. What other books by Poul Anderson have I read? A lot. Annals of the Time Patrol, Operation Chaos, 3 Hearts and 3 Lions, The High Crusade, a bunch more I don't remember right now. Anyway, in A Midsummer's Tempest, the main character finds an inn, and when he goes into the inn, there's all the he is from the time of the English Civil War. There's all of these bizarre people, and it's implied that they're from different times and different universes in this inn that's called the Old Phoenix. And so he meets a young woman, and she's talking to someone, and the person she's talking to is Holger Dudansk, Olger the Dane, from 3 Hearts and 3 Lions. She is the main character in a book called Operation Chaos. Shellback Bow, I'll get right back to you. I loved that concept so much of an inn that slips in between realities, that the Old Phoenix is part of my Monday Night Greyhawk campaign. And I use it, my Monday night games are my Monday night games, my Monday night Christmas games are like Marvel annuals, in that the events may reference previous sessions, and the events in it may be referenced in future sessions, but they kind of take place outside that space-time continuum. So the party always goes there, and when they go there, they always go into the inn when the caretaker of the inn, Bob, his wife, Vika, and their daughter, Loran, are setting up for Christmas. And I've had them meet all kinds of people. Bing Crosby, Bob Hope, and Frank Sinatra were there. Han Solo and Chewbacca, the Sam, Mary, Pippin, and Frodo. They even ran into Bill the Butcher from Gangs of New York. None of the players or the characters recognized him, and they were very polite. He was on the way out. They were on their way in. And when they get into the inn, there's usually something they have to do every year to save Christmas. Now, Bob, Vika, and Loran can't leave the inn. They can't. Like if they go to if they try to like step off the porch, they fall into a void and then find themselves falling rather unceremoniously back into the inn. They kind of clip back in and out of reality. But I just decided it's the Old Phoenix Inn. Poul Anderson never detailed the Old Phoenix that much, so I just ran with it. Bob inherited the inn from a deceased uncle in the very late 1970s. They've been into the garage that's on the inn grounds, and I described what Bob's car looks like, and of course the players buy into the conceit that it's a gleaming black metal box, and there are round wheel-like objects of a spongy, leathery substance. Loran is a demon, but here's the thing: the inn changed her nature when she went in. And they've done stuff like they've gone in and Bob found his Atari 2600 that his uncle had bought for him to play at the inn back in the 70s when he was an adolescent. Electricity works in the inn. It just does. So he and Loran are sitting there playing games on the 2600 and describing to the characters what they see, and they're like, what even is this? Now the characters can leave the inn. Even if the inn shifts dimensionally, they can come out of the inn. And was it last year or year before last? I think it was year before. Yeah, it was year before last. They came out in Maine in the 1970s. They actually met Bob's uncle. It was that far in the past, because they don't go into the inn and it's like, well, last year it was like this year it's like this. Sometimes they go and Loran is all grown up and mom and dad are older. Sometimes they go and Bob and Vika haven't had a child yet. It's literally just what time it is can vary. So they went the one time, just before Bob's uncle passed away. And they, I like that, Joe. I like that a lot. So I basically, for reasons that I won't go into here now, they were roaming around rural Maine a few days before Christmas. They went to a gas station. There was a stoner clerk. Well, not, just kind of a burnout hippie clerk. And he was like, wow, man, are you guys dressed up for a Christmas play or something? And, no, good sir. This is how we always dress. And he drove them somewhere. I don't remember the destination now in the game, but they pile into the van and rattling around in a milk case in the back. I was like, you see these strange tomes. They're slender. They're about, maybe 9 inches wide by a foot high, with garish color covers. Then there are smaller pamphlet-sized books with no less garish illustrations, but these are in a sepia color. And one of the players like, I'm going to look through them. And I said, you feel an extreme unease when you handle the books. The guy had D&D books rattling around in the back of his van. So anyway, that's the connection. That's just something fun that I like to do. The Broken Sword is very good. The Broken Sword is very, very good. The High Crusade, somebody asked about the High Crusade. The High Crusade is probably the funniest Poul Anderson book I've ever read. Basically, aliens land in Brittany and decide this is our jumping off point. We're going to take control of the earth. So they land and start trying to intimidate the peasants and the local lord and the men at arms and everything. And the thing is, they don't understand the tech, but they know that it's tech. They get very quickly that these are devices. And if these are devices like a pump, like a forge bellows, like a winch, like a windlass, like a trebuchet, well, they can just work that out. And they storm the metal castle and take over the ship and make them fly them through the galaxy. And over time, they learn how to work the ship. They keep enough of the alien crew alive to learn how to fly the ship. I don't want to spoil the stinger at the end, but it is hilarious. It is so much fun. Like there's a bit in a battle when they're basically, they land on these aliens' home planet and start a crusade to take it over. They find essentially a tactical nuclear warhead, and they're like, it's flashing and beeping. We think flashing and beeping things are bad. Well, this is about the size and weight of a trebuchet stone. Let's put it on the trebuchet. And if it's bad, it'll be bad over there. It'll be bad a few thousand yards away. They lob a tactical nuclear weapon at an alien reinforcement point. The aliens didn't detect artillery or a missile launch or a fighter jet overhead dropping it. And now they're terrified that the humans have a stealth nuclear cannon or missile launcher. Read The High Crusade. Treat yourself this Christmas. It is so much fun. It is so much fun. But yes, Poul Anderson is where I stole the old Phoenix from. I'm going to see if we tick over to 2,000 views, 200 views. I wish 2,000 views. I got my brain stuck on, I want the channel over 2,000 subs. Why do I want it over 2,000 subs? Maybe you're new. Maybe you haven't decided to hit that subscribe button. Why do I want it over 2,000 subs? Well, I will tell you why. He's going to tell. He's going to tell. He's going to tell. I would very much like to get, and we are 2,075 subscriptions, 2,075 subscriptions away from on YouTube from hitting 10,000. When I get 10,000 subscriptions on the channel, I will start planning and I will start putting together a gaming convention, an in real life gaming convention, not the virtual. The virtual convention is a real convention too, but in real life, a face-to-face, you come here to Florida and sit at tables and game and roll dice and eat snacks and meet people and have a good time. Gaming convention. When we hit 10,000, and we are very close, we're 4/5 of the way there. And I would really super duper like to get to that point. We're at 7,925. If you haven't subscribed yet, won't you help me out? Won't you subscribe and come on in for the big win, guys, and get us over 10,000 subs here on the channel, or even to the 10,000 subs. If I woke up and it was 10,000 subs, I would screenshot it. I would say I did it. The trap has been triggered. It's going. And then if it rolled off a few, well, too bad. I didn't say 10,000 and it has to stay 10,000 forever. I would like it to just keep going past that. And yet only 20 likes. I know. It's terrible. It's terrible. Well, look at that. We did it also here on the live stream watching. We're at 179 views on X. We're at 23 of you guys watching on YouTube. Thank you so very much. I think that's going to about do it for me, though, guys. I got to get ready for the AD&D game. I got some supper to cook. I really, really do appreciate it. Bob Gnarly, we were talking about you earlier. Did you hear? Were your ears burning? Were your ears burning, Bob? Because I was talking about you. I have immanentized the Eschaton. No, that's not what I've done. I have reached out to Ignatius Umlaut, and he will be on the show on the 11th. So please watch, because you have to. I insist that you be there. So we will be back tomorrow night. Last first edition AD&D game of 2025. Don't miss that. Wednesday and Thursday, you kids are off from school. Watch the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. I'll send you the little list of all the balloons and all the stuff to catch, the little checklist. The vessel with a kestrel. And Friday, Sci-Fi Friday, last Gamma World game of 2026, last Gamma World game for a long time. So God bless you all. If you're not going to tune in tomorrow night, have a wonderful and safe Thanksgiving. Otherwise, I will see you then, and then I will see you again on Friday. Take care of yourselves, everyone. I love your guts. I mean it all, everybody. Do be good to each other. And if you are traveling, travel safe. Peace to you all. And I will see you around next time. Hey, don't fear the owl bear, guys. He's going to bring some pumpkin pie. Peace.
Have you seen my owl bear? Here's to all the weirdos everywhere, in the woods and in the air. Have you seen my owl bear? Should I shave off all my hair? Bobs are all around, some live in tunnels underground. Some are fat, some are rich, some are sleeping in a ditch. Can you ride a crooked horse without a saddle, way off course? Naked as a toad, all the way to Smoky Joe's. Have you seen the little creep driving fast in his little green Jeep? He smells like fish and brandy, but his rotten teeth look dandy. Take me to the show, I don't care if fast or slow. From action flicks to dancing dicks, just take me to